Hey, if you are exhausted from working hard and still not getting the results that you want, this message is for you. So, if you've been working hard, feeling like you're running in circles, staying up late, being exhausted, depriving yourself of sleep, and you're still not getting the results that you're aiming for, this may be the shift that you're actually looking for because it's not that you're lazy. It's just that we have been taught how to succeed the wrong way. So, today, if you stick with me, we're going to go through it and break this all down. So, for those of you who have never been here before, my name is Shalomith, and welcome to another Shalomith Inspired Sunday School. But let's get into it. So, here's the thing. We've been taught that working hard, depriving ourselves of sleep, pushing through exhaustion, um, sacrificing more, if we keep doing those things, eventually we're going to get the results that we are working for. But I have a question for you. How has that been working out for you? Has that been giving you or getting you the results that you want? Because it definitely has not been getting me the results that I want, which is why I'm here. Because this week I have discovered two principles, two biblical principles that actually deliver the results that I am looking for. And I'm going to do them this week, test them out. I'm starting to test, and I'm inviting you to test them out with me as well. So the first one is this. Psalm actually teaches that the first principle of success is alignment and balance. So it says that unless God is building what we're building, everything that we're doing is in vain. And the other thing it says that it's pointless for us to stay up late and to wake up early and deprive ourselves of sleep. It also says that this does not get us to where we're trying to go. So burnout is not a badge of honor. It's actually breaking the principle of alignment. So the first thing we're going to do this week is we're going to create a schedule and make sure that that schedule allows us to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. We're also going to pray about whatever it is we're trying to build and bring that before God. The second principle that we're going to apply this week is a principle that says get the wisdom or get the proven blueprint before you actually start to work towards the goal. So get the wisdom first before you exert effort. Now, Proverbs 1 actually breaks this down. And Proverbs 1 says that the beginning of all knowledge is the fear of God. So what does that mean? That means that before we can even start to get the actual blueprint, there has to be a fear, meaning a reverence for God. What does that mean? Proverbs 8 goes on to explain it, and it says that a fear of God means that you hate evil ways, you hate doing things that are out of integrity, and you hate a forward mouth. So that's saying that before you even go into it, you go into it from a certain place of reverence, a certain place of respect, and a certain place of honesty and integrity because you actually fear and acknowledge who God is. I like to give the analogy of, let's say, for example, if you just love your grandmother's cake, right? You love your grandmother's cake and you want to know how to make that cake and get the same results. Well, to try to make the cake, first you have to acknowledge that your grandmother made it. And secondly, you have to actually go to her and ask her for the recipe. If you don't humble yourself and go to her and ask her for the recipe, you're just going to guess and fail and try to figure out the ingredients and try to figure out the cooking instructions when really just go to her and ask. So, keeping that same principle in mind, God is the creator of all things in the universe. He's the creator of all laws, and especially the law of success. So, if you want to succeed, how does God say you're supposed to succeed? What's the recipe? What are the instructions for success according to how God wrote them? The first one we just went over, which is balance. Make sure that you work in balance and make sure that God is actually blessing and building what you're doing. So get the rest, 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And then the second principle as that God instructs us is in Proverbs 1. It says you are to seek out people who have already succeeded. A wise person seeks wise counsel. So, what type of business are you trying to build, or what are you trying to achieve? And look around you. Who has already succeeded at this? Whoever that is, what did they do? Call them up if you have access to them. If you have access to them, call them and ask them, hey, I'm trying to build, how do I? If they wrote books about it, if they wrote courses about it, if they give instruction, And if they have succeeded, it's worth it to get their blueprint. The word also tells us to seek wise counsel. So as reach out to people and say, hey, I'm trying to build a business, I'm trying to build a nonprofit, or I'm trying to lose weight, I'm trying to start a girls group or boy, whatever it is. Reach out to someone who has done it already and ask them if they will be willing to be your mentor, because ask them if they will be able to be your sounding board, your counsel, because it says that a wise person seeks counsel. And the other thing that first Proverbs tells us about, Proverbs 1 tells us when it comes to wisdom, is it tells us to a wise person is constantly gaining more wisdom, is constantly gaining more knowledge. So the way we're going to apply principle 2 is we're going to identify a person or people who have already succeeded in what we are trying to do, and we're going to ask them for their blueprint. If we don't have access to them, we're going to watch their YouTube video, their how to, we're going to buy their course, or we're going to get the book that they wrote, whatever they are providing that gives you specific details and they have already succeeded. Go to that person and follow the blueprint. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. And if it's a possibility, reach out to a person who has already done it, who has already succeeded, and ask them to be your mentor, your wise counsel. Those are the two principles of success that will stop us from running in circles, trying to constantly get ahead, only to not succeed. So if you're going to join me for this challenge, then I invite you to comment below, comment in the comment section, leave a comment that says committed to success. Apply the two biblical principles that God have outlined in Psalm 127 and Proverbs 1, and let's give that a try, because I'm excited. So I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to give you feedback as I apply these principles. I'm excited for you to apply these principles. And until next Sunday, have a blessed, awesome week.